Hey everyone, buckle up for a wild ride through the funniest ways Hollywood knows how to off its characters. Welcome to our countdown of the top 10 hilarious movie deaths. Get ready to laugh out loud as we dive into some of the most side-splitting demises in film history. We're talking about those moments where you can't believe what you're seeing, where death becomes the ultimate punchline. So grab your popcorn, settle in, and try not to choke on your laughter. It's gonna be a bumpy ride. Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece of violence and dark humor. Poor Marvin, just an innocent dude in the wrong place at the wrong time. He's riding in the back of a car with Jules and Vincent minding his own business when, BAM! Vincent accidentally shoots him in the face. The look on Jules' face, the blood splattering everywhere, it's shocking, unexpected, and hilarious all at the same time. What makes this scene so funny is the sheer randomness of it all. 1 minute Marvin's there, the next he's gone, reduced to a bloody pulp. And let's not forget Jules' reaction. Oh man, I shot Marvin in the face. He says it with such a mix of disbelief and annoyance, like he's just spilled coffee on his shirt. Marvin's death is a reminder that sometimes the funniest things in life are also the most unexpected. It's a moment that's both shocking and hilarious, and it's one of the many reasons why Pulp Fiction is considered a classic. Bill Murray, the king of deadpan comedy, meets his match in Zombieland, literally. In a stroke of genius casting, Murray plays himself, holed up in his mansion during a zombie apocalypse. The survivors, thinking he's a real zombie, decide to take him out. Little do they know, Murray's just wandering around in zombie makeup, trying to blend in. What follows is a hilarious case of mistaken identity, as Murray tries to convince them he's not the undead. Of course, things go south, as they often do in zombie movies, and Murray ends up getting shot. His last words? A groan of disappointment. This scene is a perfect example of how to use celebrity cameos effectively. Murray's presence elevates the humor to a whole new level, and his death, while tragic, is also undeniably funny. Monty Python, the masters of absurdist humor, gave us one of the most iconic and hilarious death scenes of all time in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I'm talking about the Black Knight, a character who's all bravado and no limbs. After losing both his arms in a duel with King Arthur, the Black Knight refuses to admit defeat. It's just a flesh wound, he insists, even as Arthur hacks off his legs. The Black Knight's stubborn refusal to give up, even when he's little more than a torso on the ground, is both absurd and hilarious. Come back here and take what's coming to you. I'll bite your legs off. It's the kind of line that only Monty Python could get away with, and it never fails to elicit a chuckle. The Black Knight's death, or rather, his refusal to acknowledge it, is a testament to the power of absurdist humor. It's a scene that's both silly and thought-provoking, and it's a reminder that sometimes the best way to deal with adversity is to laugh in its face. Deep Blue Sea, a movie about genetically engineered sharks, gave us a death scene so shocking, so unexpected that it became an instant classic. I'm talking about the demise of Russell Franklin, played by the one and only Samuel L. Jackson. Picture this. Jackson, in all his badass glory, is delivering a rousing speech to his team, trying to rally them against the shark threat. He's in the middle of a sentence, laying down the law, when suddenly, chomp! A giant shark leaps out of the water and drags him under. Just like that, he's gone. The audience is left stunned, jaws agape, wondering what the hell just happened. What makes this scene so funny is the sheer audacity of it. We're talking about Samuel L. Jackson, the baddest mother********** in Hollywood, getting taken out by a shark in the middle of a speech. It's so unexpected, so over the top that you can't help but laugh. It's a reminder that even the biggest, baddest characters are not immune to the whims of fate, or in this case, genetically engineered sharks. South Park, the animated series known for its crude humor and social commentary, took things to a whole new level in their feature film, bigger, longer, and uncut. And no one knows death quite like Kenny McCormick, the show's resident fatality magnet. Throughout the series, Kenny dies in almost every episode, only to reappear in the next one good as new. In Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, Kenny dies not once, not twice, but multiple times, each death more outlandish than the last. But what makes Kenny's death so funny is the sheer nonchalance with which they're treated. The other characters barely bat an eyelid, usually just muttering, "Oh my god, they killed Kenny," before moving on with their lives. Kenny's deaths are a testament to the show's ability to find humor in the darkest of places. American Pie. The wedding continued the franchise's tradition of raunchy humor and awkward situations, and no one does awkward quite like Steve Stifler, the king of cringeworthy antics. During the wedding reception, Stifler, in typical Stifler fashion, decides to spice things up. He sneaks into the kitchen looking for a little mischief, and stumbles upon the wedding cake. What could go wrong, right? Well, let's just say that Stifler's attempt to enhance the cake with his special ingredient doesn't go according to plan. The result is a chaotic and hilarious disaster that leaves Stifler covered in cake and everyone else in stitches. It's a reminder that sometimes the best laid plans go hilariously wrong, and when they do, it's best to just embrace the chaos. Burn After Reading. The Coen brothers' dark comedy about espionage and mistaken identity features a death scene so sudden, so unexpected, that it's almost comical. I'm talking about the demise of Chad Feldheimer, played with clueless enthusiasm by Brad Pitt. Chad, a dim-witted gym employee, stumbles upon a disc containing sensitive information. Thinking he's stumbled onto something big, he tries to blackmail his way into a large sum of money. Spoiler alert, it doesn't end well for him. In a scene that's both shocking and hilarious, Chad is shot and killed by a CIA agent while hiding in a closet. The suddenness of his death, coupled with the absurdity of the situation, makes for a darkly comedic moment. It's a reminder that sometimes the line between comedy and tragedy is razor thin, and the Coen brothers are masters at walking that line. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 decided to crank the gore, the crazy, and the laughs up to 11. And no one embodies that over-the-top spirit quite like the Hitchhiker, a character who's equal parts creepy and hilarious. The sequel throws subtlety out the window and replaces it with a chainsaw-wielding maniac who dances a jig on his victims. And the Hitchhiker, he's the twisted court jester in this gore-soaked circus. In a scene that can only be described as death by chainsaw ballet, the Hitchhiker meets his end in a way that's both gruesome and strangely beautiful. It's a whirlwind of spinning blades, flailing limbs, and enough blood to make a vampire blush. What makes this scene so damn funny is that it's so ridiculously over the top. The Hitchhiker's death is a testament to the fact that sometimes the best way to deal with horror is to laugh in its face. It's a reminder that even in the darkest of genres, there's always room for a little bit of twisted humor. Jurassic Park, while a masterpiece of special effects and suspense, also gave us a death scene that's become infamous for its comedic timing. I'm talking about the demise of the lawyer, Donald Gennaro, a character who learns the hard way that when nature calls, sometimes you gotta hold it. As the T-Rex runs rampant through the park, Gennaro, overcome with fear, makes a mad dash for the nearest restroom. He thinks he's found sanctuary, a place to hide from the prehistoric terror. He couldn't be more wrong. In a scene that's both terrifying and hilarious, the T-Rex, attracted by Gennaro's panicked movements, peers into the restroom and makes a meal out of the unfortunate lawyer. It's a classic case of wrong place, wrong time. Gennaro's death is a testament to the fact that sometimes the universe has a twisted sense of humor. It's a scene that's both scary and funny, and it's one of the many reasons why Jurassic Park remains a classic. Austin Powers' International Man of Mystery is a movie that revels in its own absurdity, and the death scenes are no exception. And no one embodies that over-the-top, cartoonish spirit quite like Dr. Evil's unfortunate henchman, Random Task. Random Task, as his name suggests, is assigned a variety of odd jobs by Dr. Evil. But his luck runs out when he's tasked with disposing of Austin Powers in a most unconventional way. In a scene that's as ridiculous as it is hilarious, Random Task attempts to crush Austin Powers with a steamroller. But in a classic case of comedic irony, it's Random Task who ends up flattened, much to the chagrin of Dr. Evil. What makes this scene so funny is the sheer randomness of it all. It's a death that's so unexpected, so over the top, that you can't help but laugh. It's a reminder that in the world of Austin Powers, anything goes. Random Task's death is a testament to the power of slapstick humor. Thanks for watching our countdown of the top 10 hilarious movie deaths. We hope you enjoyed this morbidly funny trip through cinema history. Remember, laughter is the best medicine, even when it's coated in fake blood and sprinkled with a little bit of dark humor. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more entertaining content. Let us know in the comments below what some of your favorite hilarious death scenes are. And remember, Life's too short to be serious all the time, so go out there and find something to laugh about, just maybe not at a funeral.